And, I have an 8-year-old now to 6-year-old, and I will go to their school and talk to their teachers. Do you have any advice for anything, for just any job? Yeah, here's my advice. My advice is that whatever you do, if you work at Starbucks, if you work for SpaceX, if you work for PayPal or whatever, if you wake up one morning and don't feel like doing it, be true to yourself and don't do it anymore. Find something else that you want to do, because you're just going to be unhappy. You're going to bring everyone down that you work with. I made sure I wore the tightest shirt possible for you, and stripes, because they're really flattering on camera. No, they're not, are they?
You're gonna be under a cape anyway.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I literally feel like a sausage, like the casing, but I'm here. Thank you, by the way, for having me. It's the second time I've hung with you. The first time, so our host of our show, our morning show, Brad Booker, we needed station photos, and he was like, I got a guy. And I'm like, all right, I always trust. I trust.
Is Brad that guy who just says, I got a guy?
No, I'm the guy that says,
you're the guy.
Yeah. But he has it, and he's like, I got the person. And he's very picky. I did not want anything to have to do with station photos.
Yeah.
It's all him. And so when he said he'd use someone, I'm like, all right, let's go. And I trust him, trust his judgment, everything 100%. When we walked in, I met you, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then of course I did a deep dive on your social media and stuff. And I saw that you also not just do photography, but you cut hair. And I'm like, okay. And then there's a picture of you cutting the lead singer of, what is it? It's Brandon Flowers. I want to say, I just had a brain hour. I'm like, duh, I work in music. I saw a picture of you and Brandon Flowers. I'm like, you're cutting his hair. I'm like, okay, this dude's legit. I mean, it had to take it literally just took that one picture. I'm like, oh, this is my guy. That's my guy. Then I started thinking, like, how much does he cut? What does he charge? Years ago, I went down this road where it's like, I watch whatever my wife watches.
Yeah.
So like years ago, there was a show on Bravo, like
how about the salon takeover?
No, even before that. There was a dude, Jonathan Anton.
Yeah. I've heard some interesting stories about people who worked with him years and years and years ago.
So I watched that show and I was like, I want a haircut from that guy. And then I was in Beverly Hills one time for our show, for a radio show conference, morning show conference. And then I literally saw his salon, and there were no openings, but I swear, haircuts started like at $500.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so there's a new show that's coming out on Paramount Plus called Blowing LA.
All right.
It's been released now in the UK and in Australia. They're going to do the state release soon. It's with my friend Ted Gibson.
Okay.
And his husband, Jason Baki.
Mm-hmm. I'm shaking my head looking at these guys, but I'm just doing, the polite, like, Ted.
Ted charges $2,400 for a haircut.
I mean, honestly, that's great. I love it. Yeah. But it's like, honestly, bro,
I love them. They're the funnest people. It's
an experience you're paying for, right?
In some salons, there will be the person you go there to see. Like, for instance, I remember hearing a story about Frederick Fakai, right? Like, he would...
Oh, yeah, Cedric.
Good old buddy Frederick. Freddie boy. He would basically be cutting somebody's hair in 15 minutes to cut that person's hair. And then an assistant would come over and blow dry it. Then he'd come over and check it over and make little adjustments, and that was it.
Wait, that's it? So $2,400 got you 15 minutes of head.
That's Frederick Fakai. I think it's charging $500 or $600 a hair.
Okay, how long does that usually last? I'm talking about if I'm paying $2,400, I want to stay for half a day in the salon.
So Frederick Fakai would spend 50, you get your hair shampooed by an assistant. Let's say that's 15 minutes, and then you're getting your hair cut by Frederick. That's 15 minutes. You're getting the blow dried, probably 30.
Okay.
You're in and out. You're in and out, right?
That's good so far.
I believe Ted spends 3 hours with the client.
Oh, okay.
But it's him shampooing you. It's you and him the whole way, from my understanding. And so, so Jonathan Anton, I remember that show. I remember that came out right when I was a young hairdresser, and I was like, whoa.
But Romeo was just the drama, the stuff behind the scenes. It wasn't actually the cuts that blew me away. It was just the experience. But it goes to what you said, coming in and having that one-on-one time with the stylist, it's just that's awesome. It's so funny. It's my mom complains, when she goes to the doctor And she spends more time with the physician's assistant than the doctor.
Totally.
She's so mad.
Yeah.
Because she's all about the experience, you know. She wants the doctor.
Well, you're going there for the doctor, not the PA.
Yeah.
The thing that sucks is not every client will tell you what's up. Will just ghost you.
Yeah.
And that's actually more of an insult as a hairdresser, that they ghost you. They don't even give you the opportunity to do that. But on the other hand, hairdressers are so caught up in being like drinking their own Kool-Aid sometimes, that they're not missing the cues that a client's like, oh, really? Running behind again? Mm-hmm. Hey, are you going on time today? Like that's like the way the clients try to like politely ask and tell you like, dude, get your shit together. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm only going to handle so much of you running behind before I'm fucking out of here. It's a valid complaint, you know? I feel hairdressers are more aware of it than doctors.
Oh, yeah. Because doctors are still doing the same thing. You're still seeing the physician's assistant.
Yeah.
You guys are, I mean, no doctor I've never met or heard of like, oh, it's all about the experience. I'll be there with, like, you know what I mean?
No, they don't.
No, but you also trust the physician's assistant too, because they're there for a reason. They've done the school, you know, but you still like the doctor. At least my mom, that's old school. Do you want to see what you're working with today?
Yeah. Let's see what's on it.
All right. So
what? I didn't say anything.
Well, no, I'm going to explain. I know. So here, let's get this out of the way first. So right here, you will notice that I wear a hat all the time. So obviously, there is like, it looks like a hamburger bun right there.
Can I tell you, I noticed that when I was looking at your photos.
Yeah,
I know. I'm like, why does he have a half moon suntan? And I was like, fucking hat.
Yeah, a stupid hat. But I like wearing hats, and that's the thing. And I'm very lucky, again, being in radio, like we don't, you know, or yes, we do video and stuff, but I have my hat backwards, and that's just my look. But I don't have to be like doing the weather or doing traffic or reading news, you know, and have to have super
Dallas rain.
Right. No. I get to have my hair, whatever, but I don't like it like this long. So life happens. I have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old. You know, my wife
did 4. So we're in the same boat.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean to get a haircut.
Yeah.
And I just forget sometimes. And I'm not very, well, you know, I've become less picky with the older I get. Like, for instance, let me tell you, okay, so one of my best hair cutting experience was when I moved to Austin in early 2000s. I worked at the Home Depot off of St. John's. It was 183 and I-35. And one of my managers, her name was Bridget, and she had just opened a salon like near like Runbury area, and it was called Before and After. You know, she's like, hey, I'll cut your hair. I got people who cut your hair. And I'm like, all right, cool, you know, cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for somewhere to get my hair cut. I just moved to Austin, you know, and I was like, and so I go in, and it's funny because it's like, you know, looking around, and it's like, well, I mean, I'm the only Mexican guy in this place, you know. Oh, yeah, this is cool. Everyone being cool, you know. The mailman comes in, hands in the mail, and then he opens up the mailbag, and he's like, who wants to buy boudin balls? And I'm like, I fell in love with this place. I was like, little, like, boudin, like rice balls, like Cajun, like selling them out of plastic cups with saran wrap top. Yeah. Selling them out of his mailbag, the mailman. I'm like, this is awesome. The people coming in, getting their hair cut, getting their hair all done, we're just having a great, I mean, it was just felt great. Like, I stayed there for hours hanging out, you know. It was just cool. And it was just like, I loved it. Bridget's like, what do you need? How do you do your hair? And I said, I want to buzz, you know, just kind of tighten it up. And then she's like, all right, go see K-Rock. And I'm like, K-Rock. So K-Rock's the barber there. Okay. I go to this little stand, and he has this enclosed kind of door, and he has his music up, and he's like, all right, let me get you a line. Let me get you faded and lined up. And so he puts power, whatever he does, and he fades it. And then he gets the clippers of the lines. Yeah. And then I'm like, and it's like, I'm like, dear. And I swear, like, I had dots. Yeah. From the clippers from when he was lining me up. And then Bridget walks in, and she's like, what's going on here? It's just her. And then she looked, and she saw a little like blood dots. And she saw, man, you Mexicans with thin skin. I just started laughing. I'm like, man, I love it. And K-Rock's like, sorry, man. And then he like put something on after that made it light on fire. But it was good. I love that experience. Just to you know, the one in the mall back in the day. What are those places? What's that place called? Not Glamour Cuts. Well, there's a bunch. Yeah, there's a mall one that I would go into. Okay. Well, because I lived by Barton Creek Mall, and this is assuming I'm single at the time. It's just whatever. And I would just go into the mall and get my hair cut. Again, you know, it's just, I've been there and done that. There's this girl I love. She's great. Her name's Lizzie, and she would cut my hair, and she was always like sliding me into the schedule. She was super busy. And then, so she's like, hey, you got to wait like an hour. Is that cool? And I'll get you in. Like, you can wait in the waiting area. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And this is when I just started working radio and morning show hours, like 6 a.m., super early than that. And so I was in there waiting there, and I fell asleep like around 1. And then I swear like 2 hours later, I woke up because the sun was like shifting and it started burning my face. And I woke up and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like looking around like, where am I? And then she came up and she's like, oh my God, you're still here. It's like, I totally forgot about you. I literally went to get a haircut to take a nap. And she was booked, and she said, hey, I got to come back another time. So I drove to the hair salon to get a nap.
Well, at least you got a nap.
I got a nap. It was good. Basically, what I'm getting at is that I normally have it tight. This reminds me of like the COVID time, like 2020.
Yeah.
So I have a picture.
Yeah.
I want to show you. Here's the thing. You're the artist.
Don't say that.
No. I never want to be the guy that's like, oh, can you do like, I honestly,
It doesn't bother me.
at the end of like, when they hand you a mirror and tell me it's okay, I don't even want them to do that. Cause I'm like, I trust you. That's what I'm like. Yeah, you did it. It better. I mean, yeah, you just did it. It has to be okay.
I had a client who goes, I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for.
That's awesome.
And I thought that was great. And then I don't know what I should be looking for, so don't give it to me.
I always tell people, don't laugh, but I want my hair like Tom Brady.
Wow.
So
why is that funny to you?
I don't know, because it's weird that I have a picture of Tom Brady in my phone saying.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Okay. But when he got signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he all of a sudden in 2020 was like this new guy, like smooth, young, field hip Tom. And Tom had cool hair. Like it was super big. And I liked Tom's like party in the front, like high.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's my look. And this is another random like picture that I carry on, like the side that I like.
What do you like about that?
Because he has a cool beard.
Okay.
And I just like how it's tight.
Well, Tom doesn't have a beard.
Well, no, I know, but I think Tom has. I like the side how it kind of goes like that,
forward.
and then down, but it's not too tight. I don't like fades.
Yeah, so you don't want to use clippers.
Whatever. I don't know.
That is not a good haircut photo.
Yeah, no. So the other one. This photo. I don't know where I was in Austin, but there was a woman chasing I don't want to say he's a homeless guy, because I don't know if he's homeless or not, but he had bags with him. It looked like he was traveling, and he was running off with one shoe in his hand, and he had 2 shoes on.
Okay. Sure, he just didn't like buy from the dairy.
Well, no. There was a girl. There was a girl behind him, running after him, taking video. But she had both shoes on, so something was not right. And I was at the stoplight. I was kind of watching everything go down. And she couldn't keep up to get in front of him to take. So I started taking pictures of them just in case. You never know. I mean, one day all of a sudden you see on Instagram or someone posting on social media saying, "Hey, this dude, blah blah blah, did something. Does anyone have any information?" I'm like, well, I happen to have several photos of this guy.
Let's go back.
All right, we're going back to this is the guy with the beard. Yeah. So the beard. I mean, my beard is like. I never had a beard. My mom hates it. She always wants to shave it off. My wife is like, whatever. If I got rid of it, it's like Superman without his cape. I have a weak chin.
Yeah.
I don't like it. So I keep this thick to hide everything under. But I want it to complement. Like, so I've seen like fades before. Yeah. Where it's like thick and then it fades like almost bald and then back again. And it's like, whatever. I don't know, man. Whatever you think.
Like about this, what that has a beard is that the hair on the sides right here isn't so short that it has a really nice, like a nice density and thickness.
Yeah.
And the transition from hair to beard right here in the side.
Right.
That's what I like.
Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, that's what I like. No, I like it because it looks like all kind of one.
Yeah, it's just cohesive.
Yeah. It doesn't look like artwork and like
star, stop. I get it.
Right. Like it doesn't look like the dudes I see. I don't know what. I went down whatever wormhole, but now like my whole Instagram search feed is like dudes like with chalk, like painting and then doing fades with gold clippers and.
I have some gold clippers.
You do, but then they like paint the beard or the bald spots. I don't like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I don't like that because I sweat.
I don't know how I do.
Okay, good, but I sweat though too, and it's like you would see the stuff dripping. And so nah. But I'm glad you like
this haircut. The beard and Tom are very similar styles.
Okay,
the difference I would see just from Tom is his hair on the sides going more down. But it still has the pop in the front. And the one with the beard, the hair is just pushed more forward.
Okay.
And it still has the pop in the front.
Okay.
So they're really in simplistic terms,
Yeah.
they're probably the same haircut. And it's just how they're styled.
Right.
So it's like one is moving the hair forward, the other one's moving the hair down. You could do both of those.
Okay, well, perfect. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I think these guys, they look great.
Yeah.
I want you to do what you want to do, like from seeing but it's so funny because I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say the place here in Austin. There's another place.
Okay.
Like when I decided that the mall wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Haircuts anymore, just popping in and just jumping in. I went to one place in Austin and I kid you not, I took this Tom Brady picture and I said, I know you're not going to make me look like Tom Brady. I understand that. My window's closed. But I want my hair is just as long as him or even longer. And the guy was like, okay, cool. I can't make this up. It was like half of the size. I can't make this up. I look so bad and I'm so mad. This is the second time I'd seen this guy. The first time I saw him, it was, not great, but it was long. The second time, it was half of what it was. And I was like, honestly, when he was done, I looked at the picture and I was looking at me and I was like, I wanted to be upset or cry, but I know it's not going to grow the hair back.
No.
And I don't want to make a scene because that's not my style. In my head, I was like, well, thank God I wear a hat all the time. Yeah. And it took a while to grow back. And I never said anything just because, I don't know, man, it was just so weird that that's how he did it. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I guess I got to tell everyone now it's super long, but I even showed the picture.
You were good about showing pictures. I think it's funny because guys was like, don't laugh at me. And I'm like, why? And I think they just get odd about carrying a photo of another guy.
Hey, man, I have shame in that. Hey, at least I picked the best looking dudes, right?
Hey, I was telling my buddy yesterday who was on when we were filming, I realized that my favorite actor is Brad Pitt. And it was not a conscious choice. All of my favorite movies, almost all of them have Brad Pitt as the lead.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I was like, and you know what? And I think he's always had really good hair.
He really does.
Okay, there are some people, I'm going to use David Beckham as the example.
Oh, God, I love him. Oh, my God. I have a picture of his hair in here for the same thing. Yeah, he's next.
Handsome guy.
100%.
Handsome guy. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Good hair. But he has some questionable hair choices.
Oh, yeah.
In the years.
Oh, my gosh. I've seen my 8-year-old is all of a sudden into soccer, and it's gotten me like to follow. Or you know what? I don't want to say follow. I'm learning
about soccer
while he's learning or going through it. So David Beckham, you're absolutely right. Like honestly, it's like when he shaved his head, I'm like, dude,
it looks great. It makes you want to shave your head.
No, I hated it because he has such good hair.
Oh, well, see, I looked at it as like, wow, he's so good looking. His head looks fashionable on him.
He could do anything.
But there's a couple questionable haircuts he's done where I'm like, was that just like a style?
Well, the faux hawk, remember, or like whatever the...
Yeah, that was fun. My thing is when he...
Time and place.
My thing was like, did he really think that cornrows were a look for him?
Did he have?
He did. Well,
oh, man.
He says...
Time and a place? Maybe the whole team was doing it?
Maybe. But in the defense of Brad Pitt, does not have questionable haircuts.
Never.
The closest you can get is when he went to the award show with the haircut from Fury. And everybody was like, what's that? Like, oh, it's his new movie role. Outside of that, he's always had great hair.
Yeah, even when he shaved his head, it was awesome, like with Fight Club. Dude, him shaved head, looked good.
So what's funny is the photo of Tom Brady is almost the same haircut as Seven.
Oh, well, there you go.
I would love to cut his hair. Not because it's Brad Pitt, but he has good hair. Like, I think you could, I think I could fuck up a haircut and it'll look good on him. But like, wow, that's an artsy haircut. Oh, that's a fuck up, I had this one creative director for one of the salons I worked at, and we were trying to figure out how to pick models for photo shoots. And he goes, it does not matter how great or how creative the haircut is. It's the model. And I go, what do you mean? He's like, that's what he said. A shitty haircut on a model is art. A shitty haircut on a normal person is a shitty haircut. He goes, just pick the prettiest person. I go, so it's not about the haircut? He goes, no. He's like, just pick the prettiest model and you'll win every time. And it always stuck with me when it comes to like celebrities, because celebrities and models, their faces are more symmetrical than like everybody else. There was like a whole study about what was actually the universal thing of attractiveness. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like strong jaw lines or high cheekbones. It was symmetry. It was the craziest thing. And when you start looking at celebrities and you start looking at like dialing in, it's like
they all got it.
They all have it. Yeah.
It's so funny they bring up the Brad Pitt. Like, who also I think for their age or the salt and pepper, but like George Clooney's always had good hair.
Well, yeah.
Like it's funny. Like I know we're in Austin, Texas, and I know there's a lot of local tequilas, but it's funny. I'm not a tequila. Well, look, here's the thing.
You're not a tequila?
No. I'm an everything guy. But there's so many brands, and so like there's so like many people that I'm not gonna be the one that sits here and lies to you and says if like I drink, like I take a sip and like savor it. I drink fast, dude. At the end of the day, like ask Booker, my co-host. I'm like. He's like, dude, I can't believe you don't drink wine. And I'm like, no, I don't drink wine. And I'm jealous of everyone that drinks wine.
Why?
Because I drink too fast. My old roommate moved from New York to here.
Yeah.
He moved back. And then he all of a sudden came back and he was like rooftop wine guy. He was like rooftop garden wine guy. And I'm like, who are you? He's like, let's go get a glass of wine. I'm like, okay. And this is before I knew I shouldn't mess with the wine. We went to some wine bar in Austin and dude, of course I drank fast. So I wasn't trying to slam stuff, but I was just getting too fast. And it was like some red wine. And so we walked outside, and immediately when we walked outside, I'm like, oh my God, my ears like started catching on fire and my head, I got the worst headache. And I was like, oh my God. And apparently it's because I drank that red wine too fast. I like a wine spritzer, a white wine spritzer. Yeah. I was in Munich for like a couple days, and I was like, okay, this is what's up. But because again, it's thin and out, but it's the red I can't do. But back to the tequila, people do just tequila on the rocks and sip it. No, I can't.
It depends what kind of tequila.
See, that's the thing. Dude, honestly, bro,
I could sip añejo and I'm good. I can't sip reposados. I can't sip blancos, but añejos I can sip. Mm-hmm. And then reposados, I personally just try to stay away from. This is like just not my thing. And then I like blancos for shooting.
Say shooting, bro.
Well, look, I don't like shooting tequila, but if I'm going to, I like blancos, and I also like margaritas.
Oh, see, I like margaritas, and that's why I don't care what's in it. I mean, I do not care what brand or whatever is in it, because it's being mixed with whatever. So I remember one time we were out, speaking of George Clooney, I was out and I was ordering a drink, and there was a couple guys before me that were super like tequila snobs.
Yeah.
And I know, yes, we are in Austin, Texas. And again, like I was saying, there's a ton of local tequilas or tequilas that are Austin branded. And these people in front of me, they were ordering whatever, like, $80 or whatever, just super expensive. Tequila, they weren't shots, but they on the rocks. And so it was my turn, and there was these girls with them, and I didn't know what to order, but I was like, shit, I'm gonna sound stupid ordering a margarita or whatever. So I was like, let me get a ranch water. Let me get what they got. Yeah, just tequila and club soda and a lime. That sounds refreshing. And then the bartender was like, what tequila you want? And I was like, fuck. I started looking around, and I wasn't paying attention to what he ordered, but what he ordered, dude, it was expensive. I felt like everyone was looking at me. You know, that feeling of like, oh, damn. And, I wanted to ask the bartender, what do you recommend? But like, bro, I don't know. I feel like when you do that, that's like the last thing I want to hear, especially when there's like 10 other people waiting. Honestly, I was like, the only thing I could think of is when I see all the advertisements of
Casamigos?
Bro, yes. So I said, I'll do Casamigos. The guys and these girls weren't even looking at me. I didn't know they were looking at me, but they weren't looking at me because I ordered Casamigos, but they were just looking my way. Yeah. And I looked at them all defensive, and I looked at them and I said, hey, good enough for George Clooney, good enough for me. And then I looked away and I felt so stupid after saying that, but it's true, but it was good. I enjoyed it. It was fine. I loved it. But again, good enough for Clooney and good enough for me.
The way to get out of that is really simple. Is you go,
order a beer.
No. And you see, go in what kind of whiskey or what kind of, go, the most expensive.
Oh, no.
See, that's what I said.
No. I have a friend. Because I did that. I did that. My boy Joe, he's the whiskey guy. Like he loves Japanese whiskey.
Oh, is he the guy that went to New York?
Yes. And so
did he go to Angel's Share at all?
I don't know, but no, that's not the one that went to New York. He actually moved to New York, but here's the deal. We went out, and and it was like when I ordered it, when I'm closing out our tab, I was like, I got these. And then oh dude, it was like a $90-some whatever, like glass, and I'm like, bro, really? Yep. And then he's like, I'll get it. And I was like, I'll get it, but damn, I mean, okay. I got like an electric jellyfish. It was like $8, and he got an $80 glass. But that would be awesome. That'd be baller.
What?
No, if you said like, give me the most expensive whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, just to get out of the situation for sure.
yeah, easy.
I wish there was a code where like, whenever you're in that situation, you say that, and it's a code for really like, just give me well.
Like help.
Seriously. Yeah. Vodka, I'm a vodka guy. It's simple.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm more a beer guy, but vodka, I mean, it's simple. I mean, bro, we know here in Austin. I mean, it's easy. I mean, you can't screw up a Ruby Red Deep Eddy vodka, right?
I don't drink vodka at all. I don't like vodka.
Undo the apron. I'm kidding.
It's too late. The reason I don't like vodka is it doesn't have any flavor.
Dude, Ruby Red grapefruit, bro. Bro, let me change you on that before I move.
So I became a gin fan.
I like gin too.
So gin became my thing. So because there's more flavor in it, and I got into like mixology bars, and they never.
You did this during COVID, didn't you? Oh, really? Oh, you had a lot. This sounds like someone that had a lot of free time. Like everyone became mixologists in COVID.
No, God, no. Actually, I went the other way. Just like, just
You just drank and hit it whenever.
Yeah. No. So because I would travel all the time, right? I'd be going to a different city teaching all the time. So I'd look for like best restaurants, best bars, whatever, right? Sometimes you go to a place and it's like the best bar in the world is ranked in one of those cities.
Oh, yeah.
I started going to these mixology bars. I started noticing that none of them had vodka. And I wasn't really into like a lot of mixologist stuff because I'd never been a fan of like whiskey. And I'm still not a fan of like bourbon, right? But I like single malt scotch. So I like that one. Everywhere I went, they would only have gin. Then I asked them, I go, hey, why is there like no vodka? And the guy's like, oh, because it doesn't have flavor. And when we're mixing something, we want the spirit to also add to the flavor profile. And I started noticing that was like a very similar thing. So it's not against vodka.
Right. But just the places that you're going to.
Yeah. And then my wife's not a fan of vodka because it makes her get like sick really quick. So
you're going to change all of that.
Well, I have vodka here in the house. I like to keep a spirit for just about everything.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean,
house.
I did the same thing. And that's how I fell into gin. I was never a gin person, but there was like, you know what it was? I know exactly what it was. I was at Twin Liquors or some place, and there was a guy, a local guy that like had his own gin. And he was doing like a gin bottle signing. You know, when you walk in and you can't avoid, like, it's like Girl Scout cookies. Like,
Yep.
You buy Girl Scout cookies and you've bought, you don't buy one box, you buy 4 or 5 or 6.
Well, the first box is the one that you want to eat.
Right.
The remaining ones are guilt.
Oh yeah, because you don't want to leave with just 1 or 2. You leave like with 4 or 6. You go back to that same place 2 days later and you see this Girl Scouts again and you're like, damn it. And they ask you and you feel so, and you say, I just bought 6. Yeah. And it's like, but you did. And it's like, you wish you had like a sign that said, hey, I promise, or like you could show them, hey, look at Venmo, I got this. But I walked in for this signing, and it's like the guy was like super nice, and I'm like, hey man, and he's like, do you like gin? And so we talked for a while, and it's like one of those kiss of death. Like I was in. Even if I didn't like gin, I still had to buy this bottle. Yeah. And I bought it, and it ended up being good. Like, I mean,
You're nicer than me.
how would you sit there, do the whole spiel and say no? That's like the people that knock on your doors and like want to sell solar panels.
Sometimes?
No, don't be rude, bro. You got to just say that you rent.
Oh, no. I just usually say, hey, here's my...
Oh my God, you're one of those.
No.
You get into it about...
No. Because they say, how low's your electric bill? And I say the actual number, and they don't have anything to go.
They're like, see you later.
And I'm like, hey, man, I've gotten rude with them when it's been like 8:45 at night. Or 8:30 because the sun's up here in the summer.
Yeah, right.
Just because the sun.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, I have fucking kids.
Well,
and I'm like, now the dog's my fucking ballistic. I go, it's 8:30 at fucking night. I get the sun's up, but like people are ready to like wind down.
8:30 is the new 5:30, bro.
Fuck them.
Yeah, no, I feel bad. I generally feel bad because everyone's trying to do their thing, their hustle. But I lie and I just say I'm renting, and I can't make those decisions, and they're cool with it, But if I'm really in need of something, then sure. But I don't even know where the hell we're going. Oh, about the gin, yeah. So I had to, yeah. It's like the Girl Scout cookie thing. I mean, I feel like I've wasted their time. I mean, we're not wasted, but I feel if I don't buy it, I wasted their time. But yeah, man, I fell into gin, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. And it's funny because like no one's really into gin,
Oh, I love gin.
So, but it's like, it's cool. It's like one of the cool things, like, oh, gin. No one ever says gin.
Gin's like one of my favorite things.
So obviously you're a gin martini guy. Because you don't drink vodka. When they ask you what type of martini, I drink martinis just for the olive juice. I might as well just drink olive juice.
So I don't like olives.
Oh, well then.
So like martini martinis have never been on my list, but I just do like soda water, like a splash of that, like a squeeze of lime and gin. And I'm fine. Just real clean. Sometimes I just like the bubbles.
Yeah.
So if they could just make a carbonated gin, I would be happy actually.
I'm sure there is one.
Maybe.
Everything's being bottled now or canned.
Well, carbonated gin would be like my go-to.
All right. I'm going to look out for it.
I know you're not originally from Austin.
Yeah.
So that makes two of us.
Yeah.
But you're native Texan, right?
Yeah. El Paso.
El Paso. Hey, that's where At the Drive-In is from.
Yeah.
Big fan of At the Drive-In.
Them and Mars Volta. And it's funny. I moved from El Paso to Austin right around like when they started making it big. I mean, look, they were already big, but like I'm talking about, I moved when they like were signed by like big record label, like Universal, all that. And then,
I hear a story about Alan?
oh yeah, please.
I had heard about At the Drive-In from the bass player and the drummer who are no longer with us, from Slipknot. Before Slipknot became what we know as Slipknot, those guys would book shows. And guess who they would book coming into Iowa?
Oh.
And then they told Ross Robinson about this band. And I read a whole article with Ross, or he was basically like somewhere in California, like heartbroken or whatever. And he looked on the thing and he remembers that Joey and Paul had said this band, and he sees At the Drive-In. He goes, and that's where that record got him.
Wow.
And Ross had to convince them because like, no, we won't work with you, because he worked with Limp Bizkit, he worked with Korn, with all these new battle bands. We want nothing to do. He goes, I want to branch out. He's like trying to sell them. And of course, it's like one of the best records they ever did.
I randomly, so like right after that, I think they were still signed by Universal, but I ended up, so I moved here. Yeah. I wanted to be a physical therapist.
Okay.
Far from that. I mean, life happens, right? But I don't know all my friends basically moved to Austin. And so I stayed in El Paso for 2 years, and I was like, well, it's one of those, they're like, hey, get up here. And it's like, okay, it's one of those where it's like, let's give it a shot. And I moved here and couldn't go to UT. You know, that was just not happening. Yeah. I was going to go to Texas State, went to ACC for a little bit. And then I wanted to be a physical therapist. And then I was just like, maybe I want to do something else. We had a friend that was like a business major that was like going to go work for like Arthur Anderson or some like accounting firm at the time. Like, hell yeah, he's about to make a bunch of money. I'm like, all right, this is where I want to go. Then I realized I was going to switch majors, and I realized there's a lot of math involved. This just said, I'm like, no, accounting, nope, I'm out. Math is not my jam. And then, you know, that's when you do the whole bumping your degree or your major down. And then it fell into communications, and I was like, okay. And I needed an internship, and then I ended up seeing one on one of the job websites, and it was for the radio station, which oddly enough I'm still at, Mix High 47s. They needed an intern for promotions marketing. I was like, I'm in, and I showed up, and I never left. And it actually, it's funny bringing it up at the drive-in. While I was interning at the place, there was another internship available, like through Universal Records or one of the record groups out of New York, and so I did that for some time. And one of the events we worked, you brought up Slipknot. Yeah. One of the events we worked was I had to work a meet and greet in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome so Slipknot was a headliner. Okay. The band that I was there representing was Hatebreed. And Jamie Jossa, and the other headliner, I think it was co-headlining. No, it was Hatebreed opening up, and then it was Rammstein or yeah.
This is like what, 2001?
Yeah. And then it was the Family Values Tour or something like that. Yeah. No, it was something.
Pledge Your Allegiance.
Yes.
It's at the San Diego one.
Yes. So I was there, and so it's funny because I'm with my roommate who's all in Abercrombie, and I'm like, and so I have to do the meet and greet with the guys from Rammstein, or they're there, and like, dude, I don't know what they said, and they were just looking at my friend wearing Abercrombie and laughing at him, and I was like, it was so awkward. I was like, let's just get out of here. Let's just walk away. Like, I don't know what's happening here, but it was just one of those weird things. And then so then we find ourselves, don't even laugh, but we're at the stadium or the arena, and it's like, there's arena food. So I turned at one point, the dude wearing the Abercrombie is eating like a pickle, watching Slipknot. And I'm just like, this is just so weird, bro. Let's just get out of here after. But Slipknot was awesome live, man. I'm down with everything. Yeah. But I sat back and took that as an experience of just, I gave it, like the whole thing was an A+ because of the performance, just because of everything, the show, just the effort they put in, just freaking, it was just badass, man. All those guys, I mean, all the Audrey, the Rammstein, the Slipknot, they freaking slayed it, dude. And then just how passionate their fans are. I mean, the passion that they have, obviously, there's something there that's just awesome.
Metal fans are like the nicest people.
They were!
They're like, you bump in, like, oh, I'm sorry. And they're like super polite and like in like push pit, they'll like fucking like pick you back.
Cut you, dude. But no, but they'll fucking beat your ass and then they'll pick you up when you're on the floor bleeding.
Like, hey man, get up.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's such a trip, man. Song ends and they're all hugging it out. Yeah, it's such a trip, but it's so like, it was such an experience. That's for damn sure. It was awesome, man, seeing that.
I saw that same show and I remember being backstage in San Diego and like the guys from Rammstein were like very isolated. Like they didn't really like interact.
I was at a meet and greet and they happened to be there. So like the Audrey dudes, all those guys were awesome.
Yeah.
The Slipknot dudes were cool.
Yeah.
They were chill. They were talking to people, but the Rammstein dudes were like just off to the corner, just doing their thing and just talking. And they were just speaking in German and no one could relate. No, like they took pictures and it was one of those awkward, like, okay.
Years later, I was in Berlin and my buddies are in this band called Julian K. My first night in Berlin, I maybe had landed for an hour and we're already off to these crazy bars with those guys.
Oh, man.
No,
I imagine.
Nobody would ever drink tequila. Nobody wanted to drink tequila. It would kill. And as we're like leaving.
Is Till the lead singer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Till Lindemann is the singer. And we're like leaving this one restaurant. I have no idea where we're going, by the way. It can't be anywhere dangerous because Till's going there. Like Till's not going to go somewhere where he's like because he's, the most famous rock star in fucking Europe.
Well, again, the dude,
he's like, yeah,
no one's going to fuck with that guy, though.
It's huge.
Right.
I'm like delirious. Like I mean, I didn't even sleep on the plane right to Berlin, right? I'm like, I'm like in Berlin to do something for L'Oreal, to be like one of the 2 people to represent North America. And I like, the first thing on my mind is party time. I'm with my rock star friends. Like,
yeah.
Till and I have the same birthday.
Really?
Yeah. So I said, call him birthday twin.
You told him that?
Yeah. My birthday twin. Where are we going?
Wait, he speaks English?
Yep.
Dude, I mean, honestly, everyone was struggling. Struggling trying to talk to that band, and they're like, I swear to God, they looked at each other. They were all just looking at each other and just started laughing and like, just
no.
Oh my God, they were just fucking with everyone there, and me.
Think about it. Maybe their English wasn't good then.
I just like the fact that they were fucking with us.
We walk up to this wall with this gigantic graffiti art on here. I'm thinking, I'm jet lagged already. I'm like, but where the fuck are we going?
Yeah.
And he like knocks. At this point, I think it's the wall, but it's like a little movie. There's like a little.
Really?
Yeah. And he sees like 15 of us because there's like, we're the whole entourage.
You see eyes going left and right.
They swing open this door and all you hear is house music. Like an old bomb shelter.
What it was? Oh, nice.
It got converted.
Damn, that's like freaking,
They got converted to a club.
Damn.
I'm like sitting at this table and Till's at the head and I'm at the other head and they bring a bottle of Patron and no one's drinking any other tequila. They're like, he poured the shot and he's like, all right, guys. And then it just keeps getting passed and passed and passed. And then it comes to me and I'm like, looking at him like, of course he picked tequila. But it was great.
What a story.
He's a big boy.
Oh, dude. Totally. Yeah.
Like I'm just under 6 feet and he's easily 6'4".
And his shoulders are just the size of a door. Dude, these guys were freaking huge. They were huge. They're
giant. They're very giant. But he was like so funny.
And that's always the case, man. That's like, we always hear that. Like the Slipknot dudes, I hear they're the freaking sweetest, like the best guys. And like, you would not know because they're going on stage, they're about to take the stage and they're getting so freaking amped up. They're throwing up in their mask basically and like freaking spitting on it. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. We saw one dude pull out and was freaking puking on the side of the stage. I don't know what mask or what number, who it was. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, it's like every show for these metal bands, it's like their Super Bowl. And they give it their freaking all, man. I mean, the drums were upside down at some point. The dude drumming, it was just fire and shit. And then there's my boy in Abercrombie shirt eating a pickle, like looking at him like, bro.
So you got into radio just by...
Just
because you had no aspirations previously to be in radio.
I didn't even think about it. It's just funny. That's like, honestly, if you ask anyone that's pretty much, that's how they fell into it. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing, dude. When you say the word DJ, like, no, I'm not that guy. Like, I'm not the guy like,
we're D's in the
no, because no, I honestly, I like, so again, I was an intern. And then the morning show at the time, I was working one of their events and they were like, hey, come hang out with us one morning. And I was like, okay. And then I immediately saw that kind of as an in because we got along. Yeah. And then I was like, sure. And so honestly, I would do whatever. I would go grab breakfast, grab coffee, do anything that they needed to help the show. And I never thought of being on a microphone, but I always knew, traditional morning shows, radio shows are like 6 to 10. I always knew at 10 o'clock that I had to go back to go doing my intern duties on the marketing promotion side. Because I couldn't forget that because I know that it was so funny seeing so many people come and go that were like, once they got their shot to hang out and do radio, like they forgot everything else. That's not me, man. I was like, I knew that other stuff had to be done. I feel like, that's why I've kind of lasted so long. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I worked at a Home Depot and on that apron, it said, I work every department. We were all about customer service. And when I was working in that radio station, when I first started, I said, I'll do anything and everything. So I'll work every department. One thing led to another. I told a story on the radio or something like that. And then just like more time and part-time job opened up. I applied for it, got it. And then it led to other things. And then boom, look at us, look at now in Austin. I still pinch myself every day after being on for so long. One of the old hosts on our old morning show always told me, he was like, hey man, if you ever wake up in the morning and you don't feel like coming in and you're just tired and you're like, make sure you let us know, because we could find you something that you want to do or find something else for you because the vibe in the room, you just bring down the room and it just translates on the radio. People can tell when something's not clicking. You can tell if you're at a restaurant or a bar when someone doesn't want to be there. And that goes the same with the microphone, with people in Austin waking up and listening to us. And I always thought of that. And I never, I'm no bullshit. And I've never woken up and said, I'm tired. I don't want to go in today. And, I have an 8-year-old now, a 6-year-old, and I will go to their school and talk to their teachers. Do you have any advice for anything, for just any job? Yeah, here's my advice. My advice is that whatever you do, if you work at Starbucks, if you work for SpaceX, if you work for PayPal or whatever, if you wake up one morning and don't feel like doing it, be true to yourself and don't do it anymore. Find something else that you want to do because you're just going to be unhappy. You're going to bring everyone down that you work with. That's just gold. I feel like that's how I've lasted so long, in this industry.
I think that's like just solid advice for anything.
Exactly, man. I mean, just be true, man. You joked earlier about DJ, like old school, like talking about, over songs like, hey, like Hawaiian shirt guy, blah, blah. I've never been that. I never wanted to be that.
NBC.
And it's like I've never heard that here in Austin. Like, being in that building since 2002 and just looking around, it's never been that way in this city. It's like, I don't think that would ever fly kind of, it's a personality or my personality is live your life on the radio because how many bosses I've had that said, if there's something you don't want to say on the radio, make sure you let so-and-so know. And, but it's I felt well, that's weird. I don't want to live two lives of I'm who I am. What you see that's what you get. And it's I feel like I relate more, to people and just storytelling and doing and shit that I've done and shit that I agree with and shit that I don't agree with. I feel like I can relate more, Also now not even living on the radio my life, but living that way on social media.
I think we were talking before we started recording and I brought up, and I still think this is where the trend is going. It's just everything was so overly curated. Why did reality TV become so popular? Because it was unscripted. It was just people being great people, or shitty people, or dirtbags, or, sleazy, whatever it was. It was just oh, I have a friend like that. It was the most relatable television. And it wasn't anything highbrow. It was just the most relatable stuff. I have a friend like that. Or,
right.
Shit, that's me.
Right.
I'm that person.
Right.
And I think that this authenticity is bleeding over into everything. I think the more you just accept who you are and not try and put on a happy face for social media.
Right.
You're fine.
Yeah, no, I know. No. I know a lot of people that hop on and off for a while, so they need a break from it because it drives them nuts. And it's dude, That's the one thing. I have thick skin, and I've read some stuff about me that people are like, oh, he's an idiot, this and that. I'm like, well, yeah, that's the thing. On the radio, bro, or on any of our, anything we do, I never claim to be the know-it-all, like, this is the way, blah, blah, blah. Like, I honestly, I still learn shit every day. And I am totally down to learn stuff because there's nothing worse than, like, correcting someone and them, like, saying, oh, I knew that, and then them, like, trying to fight you, like, because they're so embarrassed about it. I'll be like, fuck, I didn't know it. Okay, cool, good to know. Yeah. Own it that you don't know it, and you learn something new every day. And that's the thing. Your life is that much easier, And you make a lot of people feel good that didn't know it either.
So what I'm going to do is I'm using the brush. I'm going to push it forward. I've got something called like instant levitation. It's a spray that's going to help give you more height.
Earlier I mentioned that Brad Booker, the host of our show, introduced us.
Yes.
If he was here and you were telling if you're telling him that you're going to that you put instant levitation in his hair, he would have had a levitation joke, a dirty, like one of those, like, oh, that's what my prom date said joke. He's like, yeah. I didn't say anything. When you said, I'm going to put some instant levitation in your hair, I was like, okay, cool. God. But he would have 100% something. By the way, he's mad at you.
He's mad at me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he said he saw you somewhere, and he said that, we talked that I was going to come on and get my haircut with you. He came in the next day, he was like, yeah, man, I told him I'm going to do it, but he was like, yeah, man, I talking to Tab, and he decided you're going to come in, blah, blah. And then he was like, what fuck did he ask me? And I looked at him, and I was like, you don't have fucking hair, bro. You're bald. Like, you shave your head. There's nothing to do.
You know what? I've never shaved anybody's head to the skin. So if you ever wanted to, like, grow it all out,
I'm just saying,
I'll lather it all up and we'll pick it. I've never done this.
It's funny because he's like, yeah, he's gonna have some really interesting people on, and then he's like, then he's gonna have you, and then he didn't ask me, and then so when I said, well, you don't have hair, but then I walked away and I thought, well, that's a shitty backhanded compliment. You're not saying, so I'm not interesting. It's funny. We're like a married couple. I've known him now. I've worked with him for like 8-9 years, and he's the best thing to happen to me.
I was actually thinking about this. Funny enough, is that like there's like let's just say for whatever reason this were actually to like take off. Like I don't know. Like I haven't even shared any of these things lives, right? Like I'm just building my stockpile and release them right now. But like let's just say randomly like something happens, right? There's so many people I'm never gonna be able to have. I'm never gonna be able to have Billy Corgan.
The Smashing Pumpkins did, yeah.
There's so many people who I find interesting that I can't have Bill Burr on. I can't have a lot of people.
What if Joe Rogan wants to come on?
I would tell him, I go, look, we're gonna have to do the shaved heads here. Let's see if he would tell Booker.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll laugh. And I'm gonna learn how to do a straight razor in your head. Right? There might be some scars.
Yeah.
At
least you're honest.
If they wanted to have the Homer, like if Brad wanted to grow his hair out, or Joe Rogan, they wanted me to shave the actual design of Homer Simpson's hair on the side, I'd be down for that.
I don't see any of those two wanting that.
No.
No, not at all. By the way, I'm feeling the Tom Brady vibe right now.
Yeah, the
length. Dude, again, you're driving the bus, bro. It looks great. I'm feeling it.
I think this could just be a slight short because I think if it gets any longer, it's going to start going flat sooner than later.
Okay.
But I also haven't taken the side step.
Yeah. No, I like the long rock star look. It's like, I want you to be like my, when I had a lawn guy, he would always come, bro, so check it out. So he would cut my grass. And it was $50 every time. And so I like my grass like tight, Yeah. And the thing is, I never had a lawnmower, and it's one of those things you get at home. It's like, that's the last shit you think about, like, damn, who's gonna do my lawn?
That and a hose.
Oh yeah. Oh, bro.
The hose was the worst. I was like, I know.
Fuck, I need a hose. I know. And then $50 a week in the summer adds up. So I'm like, dude, I'm basically, you're dropping $50 a week, and it's like, okay, I could do this myself, and I could actually get a lawnmower, and by the end of the summer, it pays for itself. But the funny thing is, the dude would cut my grass, and so I didn't even know this existed, but there's like a number, like there's a 1 or 2 or 3. Oh shit, like your hair,
like
basically.
Clippers,
yeah, like a fade or whatever. And so, dude, he would do it as a 3, and there's probably lawn people watching this right now, and they're like, 3 is the industry standard. It's good for your St. Augustine, whatever. Here's the thing: the dude would leave, and I swear to God, overnight my grass would sneeze and hair would grow like immediately, and I'm like, oh my God. So he would have to come back. So it's like I felt like he was purposely doing it at the whatever perfect length to grow back and have me there every week.
That was his racket.
That was his thing. But here's the thing: I have an event coming up.
Yeah.
And I feel the rock star length that you just left, I feel you don't even need to go shorter because I want to look like a sexy Tom Brady beast at this thing.
What's the event?
Well, it's funny. It's the AWM Awards, Austin Women in Media. We honor everyone in Austin that's in print, that's in digital, that's in TV, radio. I mean, everyone is basically at this gala. They're up for awards for different best.
And everyone gets an award.
No. We're not a kindergarten soccer team. I can say that now because my daughter played kindergarten soccer and they all got some. And look, whatever it is. I'm cool with it, whatever. I know some parents said they threw it away right after and didn't even give it to their kid. And I'm like, oh man.
You didn't deserve this.
No, you didn't win. But no, so anyways, our boy Brad Booker is the host of the event.
Awesome.
So
What is that?
It's over at the Archer Hotel on the Domain.
Oh, okay.
So it switches every year up. So it was at the it was on Rainy last year. I was over at the the Van Zandt.
Okay.
I knew I needed a good haircut for the event. There's always themes.
Okay.
The theme is Starry Night. So they basically said, in a nutshell, men, make sure you leave the sport coat and jean combo at home.
So what are you going to wear then? That's like your whole wardrobe, right?
Well, I don't do sport coats.
Okay.
And here's why. It's just hot in Austin. And I just feel so uncomfortable. I just don't think you need a sport coat in Austin. I don't know. I don't think I do, at least. Hey, there's people that pull it off to look fantastic. I have some badass, like cool pants that I really, really dig that I haven't had a chance to wear them. Actually, I wore them for 5 minutes in Vegas. And it's a perfect opportunity to wear them here with a nice pair of loafers. I have no socks, a tight, tapered bottom fit. And just honestly, a nice white, my industry standard, white Oxford, button down. As long as my hair looks awesome, which we got this covered, I'm good.
I love dressing up.
See, yeah. You know why you like dressing up? Because you're skinny. You're thinner than I am, and skinnier people pull it off better. So I don't need layers, bro. And when I think of coat, I honestly always think back of not Will Ferrell, Chris Farley. Yeah, fat guy in a little coat. Yeah, and it's that's not even me, but I just still think of it, and it just I just never want to be. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm scarred, bro. I used to wear husky jeans when I was little. It's waist 30, inseam 4. I really wasn't. That's a lot. No.
I'm like, I actually would.
No.
I'm a 30 waist.
And yeah, that's why you like sport coats. That's why when you go to, the most humbling moment was when I went to an H&M.
Yeah. What?
Bro, I couldn't fit in any of the pants back in the day. I've lost weight since, but I was forget that.
I get all my hair. I don't care how I look.
No, you're good, man.
Today, I tried something new with my hair. I tried a different product, a different styling regimen. Because, I want to try all the different things. So that way I can talk from personal experience.
Yeah.
If a client goes, hey, have you tried this? I have. And you're bad day for bad hair when you're going to be filming later.
Yeah, right.
The thing for me was always finding pants, suits.
Yeah.
So if my jacket was a 38 or 40, the pants were a 32.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
What I found out from one of my clients, Breaker fuck you suit.
Yeah.
He did that.
No, nice.
Yeah. David August. And so he told me, he's the reason you can't find a suit off the rack is because it's more of a drop.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there's a waist to ratio with shoulders. And so certain brands I found would have wider shoulders, but they'd have a narrow torso. Hugo Boss, their red label is wider shoulders, slim in the ear. Because if I buy a large, it fits here, then I feel like I'm swimming. I feel
so anything you would have to buy, you'd have to get it tapered or whatever. So it's you might as well get a suit made that's already tapered.
Yeah, because you're spending $400 on all the alterations. And then I was like, screw this. I can just get one made for me.
See, when you say that, it's that's when I think, God, I'm not on the news. Bro, if you're a freaking news anchor, dude, the guys can pull it off better because they could wear a black suit with different color shirt. But I feel the ladies, oh my gosh, the money they spend, I can imagine you can't wear the same dress or outfit twice.
Why not?
I don't know. I would. But I'm sure that you would get called out by, in the industry, it's so funny how, or just in anything in general, the social media now, you can get called out for anything, just about anything. And everyone will type. And so someone will say, didn't you wear that 2 weeks ago? Even though it's uncool, they're still going to do it. And if you have thin skin and it just bothers you, it's going to suck.
Yeah. I've always wondered how I would react if I had an audience like yours online. I mean, like radio, and then how it feeds in online, right?
Well, online still, like, even like, so like you could easily find our show, Booker, Alex, Audrey, like online, and you could listen to it, stream it. You could, of course, listen live on here through the Odyssey app, or you can even find us on Apple Podcasts.
Can I tell you?
You can find us anywhere, but we keep it clean just because that's our I mean, look, when we keep it clean, we're not we keep it clean enough for you to like get it where it's not corny and hokey, you know what I'm saying? But I would never pop off, even if I was like on a that's just not my that's not my style. Yeah. Never call someone out on wearing the same outfit twice, because you know what? I'm wearing that same outfit 3 times.
When I met Brad, he told me, what he did and the radio station. And then I was like, the next morning I was going somewhere. I was like, I'm gonna listen.
Yeah.
And it was cool because I was like, oh man, like I know this guy now, and he was cool. His whole family's rad. I love listening to the radio.
Yeah.
I love listening to the radio. And I don't know if it's nostalgic, the fact that I just grew up listening to the radio all the time, but I love listening to the radio, and I love a good morning program. Growing up in California, there was KLOS, just the classic rock. And there was Brian, I forget what it was. I was so young. And then after that, it was K-Rock, and that was like Kevin and Bean.
Mm-hmm.
And then I never listened to Howard Stern in the morning. I think because every time I turned on the radio station for him, it was like the most boring part of the show.
Well, it's funny.
And but in high school, I ended up loving watching the Howard Stern show on the E channel.
Right.
That was like way more exciting to me.
That's so funny that you bring that up, because it's funny because Booker he'll get off and wherever, like we'll go to watch something, and he's listening to Howard Stern. And it's funny because I'm like, I get it. He's a legend, but I'm like, how are you even listening? Like, do you know this person? But because like the conversation that Howard Stern is having, it's like he already has his fans that are listening every day, that know every character. They don't have to reintroduce themselves. I literally don't listen to Howard Stern, and it's not because he's a legend, man. I get it, but I don't keep up. But if I'm listening to something for 20 minutes, and they're telling a story down to who the fuck is who and who what. Yeah. I need them to tell me, like, hey, this is stop and reset a couple times and introduce this person. Tell me, and that's like Austin, dude. Like where I feel we win is that there's 155 people moving in Austin every day. Austin proper. I mean, 155 people come here, and I never expect. None of them know who we are, and that's the thing. If they stumble upon us, it's like we got to be like, hey, introducing ourselves every time and letting people who we know and thanking them for listening to us, because there's a lot of other stations here in town that they're pissed that people are moving to Austin. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of old Austin that hates it, but it's like, you know what? Hey, man, I can't hate. You know why? Because I was just telling you earlier in 2002, I was one of the guys that moved from El Paso to here. I did that same thing. I'm welcoming, you know what? Hey, I see it as new friends coming in and listening to our show, and if they like it, great, And we do the payoff, man. We're not that type of show where like, hey, this so-and-so did this, stick around for 3 songs and then we're going to tell you. But no, you got shit going on. We're going to pay off fast, man. And we know that the average drive is like, well, I mean, it's a little longer, for most people, but the average
30 minutes.
Yeah. But the average time that people spend in the car, we got to make sure that we give them, the best stuff. And not only that, but like the whole, we don't talk politics, we don't talk religion, but we also don't bitch and moan and fight with each other on there, because you know why? Because we've learned, and this, you leave your house, you get in a car, you're in your commute. Let's just say that, you have kids. Let's say that they were being a pain in the butt. The last thing you want to do is get in and turn on whatever, a podcast or us, and then you hear someone bitching. You're like, oh my God, I just left this. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to do that, man. But let us be your break. Let us talk about something that's stupid as hell, but you can relate to, that has some Austin tie, and here we go,
I'm glad that you brought that all up, because that's actually one of the things that I actually really enjoyed about your program is your show, because I feel that there's a huge, that is lacking. Because if I go anywhere in the U.S., right, and I have a rental car, I'm always trying to find the local station that I'm driving, just because I just want to get a feel for the area, right? I want to be able to know what's going on in the city. So that way when I'm meeting the salon I'm teaching at, there's maybe some...
Right.
I want to be able to connect, right? Oh, hey, I heard this was in town. Oh, whatever, There's
no connection when you sync Bluetooth with your Spotify playlist.
Exactly.
It's the same shit here that you had in Austin. And you're in LA, you're like, well, this is nothing. The same thing goes for syndicated show. I mean, yeah, no, and it's like...
Don't get me wrong. I love watching Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But if my options are like catching the local news
Or something. Yeah.
I want to know the local news, not because it made me care about the news. It's a connection factor for me, right, to know those people. But what I love about what you guys do, and I'm not just doing this just because you're here in the chair, but I really enjoy that. I'm going to call them like the bits, if you will, are like long enough where I feel like I've gotten something where I wasn't being strung up.
Right.
And
because that's not fair. That's not cool to string someone along. I don't think.
it's not fair. I also there's now more competition than ever for the radio.
Right.
Like if you're not getting to the good part soon enough, I'm putting on whatever I want.
It's like telling a story. If someone's telling you a story and then you're like, oh my God, get to it. Like we don't want to ever be that. And
No.
I get it, dude. Nothing against podcasts and all that. I mean, our company is a huge podcast company. We have our podcast posted that you could listen to, but a lot of podcasts, like stuff my wife listens to, is an hour or something long. And dude, when she's driving to work, she doesn't have time to listen to it because it's like, it's not something you can just pop on and get some quick little satisfaction because you're going to want more of it and want to sit and listen and turn it off. It's like that. She'll do that when she goes on a long ass walk in the afternoon or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But if you need a short, boom, instant, like funny, let's do it. That's what we do.
All my podcasts. You ready for this? When I'm doing my cardio, when I'm running, Stirrup Master, whatever, like any sort of the thing where like I can actually zone out and listen.
I mean, it's your audio book.
It is. It's like the same thing. I'm like, all right, this is what I'm doing now. And then, you know what I actually do when I like to work out is listen to music.
Yeah.
And then I actually will turn into your show.
Nice.
Do that.
Nice.
And
well, you can
each it up.
Well, I think that you can also relate. It's like we're a show of first, whether it be first time having kids, first home, first time out of school, out of college. Like, you know, just it's cool seeing like, you know, and hearing that from all the listeners. And it's like, you know, at the end of the day, man, it's like family. It's like, it's so funny whenever you meet someone like, oh my God, it feels like I know you. It's like, no, we know each other. You wake up with us every morning.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that we can chat on social media, like, dude, we know it's so different now from 10 years ago. You know, what drives me crazy is that like, you know, A-list stars have so much, they can, you know, fans can have so much access to A-list stars now and like send a message and blah, blah, blah. But like, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that you could chat with someone now is like such a huge thing with fans. So if anyone listened to us, that they like send a message, I mean, we're all over it. I'm all over it. I'm like, hell yeah, man. You know, it's like me, if I were to send, like I talked to George Clooney earlier about George Clooney and his tequila. If I sent George Clooney that story, hey man, and I know he gets millions of messages probably a week.
Yeah.
But imagine getting like a response from him on Instagram and like, oh, I'm sold for life. Jesus, you know? So it's like, you just never know, man. And that's the thing. You got to be grateful and respond and all that, dude. Take care of the people that are taking care of you, man.
I agree. I think it's, I'm going to turn this. I got this dryer because it's like the quietest dryer.
It is.
So that way, like when I'm recording, I don't have to worry about it, like a wind tunnel.
That's so funny. I saw it when you were using it earlier and I'm like, that doesn't look, I was like, that's a Dyson. That looks expensive. Probably like a $400 blow dryer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see this trend, by the way, if I have cheap I am. Every time you've been saying something like that costs, I'm like, you talk about suits, like, it's just, you know.
Hey, man.
I'm frugal, bro. You know what's funny? Like, honestly, like the clothing I wear, if you ever see like on social media, like what I'm wearing, you'll never see me wearing name brand. You'll always see it. People joke and like call me like I have a uniform, like always like Navy something or like just solid, like straight up. Like I joked about Banana Republic earlier, but like Banana Republic Gap, like I wear, because it's, you know what? In my mind, it's timeless. If you don't buy shit that goes out of like trendy, super trendy stuff, you're good. You know, I'd rather spend that money on, let's say, a $400 freaking blow dryer.
Told somebody a long time ago, and I've kind of modeled my wardrobe, which was, did Steve McQueen wear it? So like, what is it basically? What am I wearing? White t-shirt, nose, and Jack Purcell's Converse. Like, that's it. It's comfortable. And that was kind of like my my thing a long time ago, which was like, if Steve McQueen wore it, then I want to.
Good enough for Steve McQueen. Good enough for you.
Hey, he's the king of cool. I was talking to a girl who was a stylist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, well, Steve McQueen's old and dead, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but why is he so cool? She said, well, it's like the effortlessly cool thing. And she said, you know, today's generation, the closest that she thought at the time, this was a couple of years ago, was Ryan Gosling. She goes, he kind of follows the same pattern. He's never does anything hyper trendy.
I like that term. I like what you said, effortlessly cool, because you're absolutely right. There's so many people that are let just chill, that just throw it together and make it cool. And they're not trying to be cool, but it's just, I think that the fact that they're trying not,
It's the understated cool thing.
Yeah.
And they said Ryan Gosling. I was like,
By the way, Brad Booker loves Ryan Gosling. Do you know that?
no.
That's his man, dude.
Yeah.
Like he just sold Mint Mobile, one of his companies, right? He had
That's Ryan Reynolds.
Damn it, I get confused with the Ryans, and so does Booker. Okay, so Gosling is the crazy stupid love one with the abs. Okay.
Where she goes, you look
Yeah. Yeah. I love that movie, by the way. I cannot believe I got them freaking mixed up. Again, the Ryans and the Chris's. Chris Pine, Chris Pratt, all those like screw me up completely.
Chris Pratt is Jurassic Park, and Chris Pine is Star Trek.
Oh.
That's how I remember.
And Chris Hemsworth?
Thor.
Okay. So there's 3 Chris's.
That's how I remember things.
All right.
I remember the role of which I liked the most.
Gotcha. So Reynolds is Booker. That's his guy. Gosling is you. Okay. I'll never get him confused again. I'm always going to remember that.
Just remember, well, actually, the funny thing is Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling both had abs.
Yeah.
What was it? It was where Wesley Snipes is a vampire. I'm forgetting that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Blade 3, and he's shredded. His abs have abs. Like, it's insane.
All right.
Who would have thought that guy from Two Guys, a Girl at the Pizza Store would come up to be this?
Blade. Oh, man. Hair looks good. I love it. Like, you got the sides, and it's just like no clipper. Like, it's insane. I mean,
So here's the thing. Clippers are not bad, and scissors and the combs are not bad either. It depends on what you're going for.
Yeah.
So if you're going for something that has a little bit more of a, not a crisp, you don't want it to be super sharp, like super, super clean.
Mm-hmm.
If you want super, super clean, like surgical, like laser cut, clippers are your guy.
Yeah.
Right? But if you want something that's going to grow out a little more greasy, keep you like maybe an extra 2 weeks in between haircuts.
Yeah.
Scissors on a comb.
Nice.
At some point, the scissor and the comb can only get so short.
Right.
That's what I'll go through and start busting up.
Like, I like that. I like the uneven look, like the shaggy. Not shaggy, but I like the
texture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I like texture.
You don't get that. Even when it's this short, you get that micro texture with the scissor and comb. You don't get that with the
No, totally.
And like, again, I cut with clippers, but again,
Right.
point in time. Like when I cut Brandon from The Killers.
Who has amazing hair, by the way. I'm not just telling you that.
Oh, yeah, it's great head of hair. And he's also like one of the nicest people.
That's awesome. I've heard that. And he's just so badass.
Like the nicest. Yeah.
How did that come about? How the hell did you cut his hair? I mean, I know we talked about that earlier. I don't even know
So
how that happened.
okay, so I'm gonna give a plug for my friend.
Go, please.
My friend Sam, she has a company called Rock and Roll Candle Company. She's like made like special candles for like Willie Nelson's birthday.
Nice.
She's doing it for like Elton John, private parties for like Oscars. But she was working for Live Nation. She said, "Hey, Tab, on the writer, which is for people who don't know, it's like I call it the list of demand.
Yeah, I mean, it basically is.
And it's not like it's not mean. It's not like look, I want Perrier water and I want Doritos. It's like that whole scene in what is it, Wayne's World, right? Brandy jar filled with red M&Ms.
Right. I mean, if people ask you, they're going to ask, what do you need? Well, there you go.
Yeah, like what do you want in your backstage room? Oh, well, I know what I want. I want a charcuterie board and what?
And the fact that it's so detailed, it's honestly nice because you know exactly what to get. You're not going to be one of those like, show up, well, you may like this. Was there a fresh haircut in that rider?
Basically, they said can we get somebody to cut his hair? So I said, yeah, because she knows I've already dealt with some romance at that point. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll show up down there.
Was his hair grown out or he just needed a cleanup? Like, was that how he rolls? He just feels better having a fresh cut before going on stage?
Right. So I show up and I had to wait a little while because they're finishing up soundtrack. I was Ben and Bass, so I know I've never run on time. I'm fine with this. He's like really polite, apologize. Oh, sorry, I'm running in and out. And I was
that's nice.
And I was like, dude, don't worry about it. He's like, hey, but yeah, I'm gonna make this on the quicker side. I'm like, I get it. It's funny. Like at first, I really thought the haircut was gonna go south.
Why?
So what do you want? Kind of like how I asked you. Really? And he's so polite about it. He was just like, I want a number one. I want to do a fade. The last guy who did it didn't really, he didn't do it right.
You should have had pictures in his phone like I did.
Well, hang on. So,
Oh boy.
like the way my mind thinks is he told me he wanted a 1. He wasn't happy with the haircut he got a few weeks ago. I'm pretty sure he told that same barber and hairdresser, I want a number 1, and it wasn't sufficient. Whatever for reason. Maybe it was too short. Maybe it wasn't short enough. I don't know. I don't know at all. And I wasn't going to explore what was wrong with that. But I was hearing him describe stuff, and it never really sounded like a clear 1. Probably like whatever he told him, he told me, and it wasn't it. So can we just talk about what you actually want your hair to look like? Let's forget clippers. Let's just forget all of that. What do you want it to look like? If I don't understand it after that, I'll just give you a 1.
Did he pull up a picture?
He did not pull out a picture. But what he did do is he was describing how he wanted a fade, but he didn't want it to look like Boardwalk Empire fade because that was popular at the time. I go, I get it.
So you're like, you're speaking my language now.
I'm like, okay. So after he describes it, it sounds like you want Brad Pitt's haircut, like in Inglourious Basterds. You want it to be a fade, but you want it to be kind of fucked up, like a little rough, not perfectly clean. You want a little edge in it. And then he said like how he has been trying to get that, because that exact,
really?
Yeah.
So you nailed it.
So I cut his hair, and he's like, do you want to take us to the show? I said, yeah. And I had not seen them since they played Side Stage at Coachella when their single came out, which I think it was just like the single, and their EP. Not even the full length came out at that time. After the show, I said, thank you. It was great to meet you. We took a photo. Oh, by the way, as I'm cutting his hair, Eric Weiss, this like amazing rock and roll legendary photographer, is snapping photos of.
So that's the photo I saw.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there's an audience of the photographer, the assistant, the bandmate, the road crew, and I'm like, I'm trying to keep my hands steady because I'm not nervous cutting the rock star. I'm nervous that I have a fucking audience.
Right.
They're like, and I'm like, dude, just leave me. Like, let me just do my fucking thing.
Right.
But I had to keep it cool.
Yeah.
4 weeks later or whatever I was like eating tacos at my favorite spot in California at Wahoo's, eating like some fish tacos, and The Killers are on the radio, and I get a text message. I'm like looking at the phone, and I'm like, that's a Vegas number. Hey, it's Brandon Flowers. Like, that was my favorite haircut. He's like, please
shut up. Wait.
Yeah, he'd start text messaging me. And then I would go out to his house like every 4 weeks.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Bro, that's awesome. I didn't know that. I thought it was a one-off.
No. So I,
oh my God, that's awesome.
I would go out to his house. I would go watch them rehearse. And I'd cut guys in the band.
Right.
And I would just hang out and watch them practice. And then I'd fly home.
Dude, that's so bad.
Fly in the morning, hang out, cut hair, fly home.
So stupid question. So how did he get your number?
I always do is I go, hey, if you're into in the area, here's my contact info.
Okay. Like you told him, then you told this person too. So
I think I just told the person who was like, they were figuring out the payment to me or something like that.
That's so awesome. Dude, great.
Yeah. And so I'm forever in debt to my friend Sam. Like, want to hear how cool this guy is?
Yeah. I mean, I know he's pretty damn cool. Well, no, this will be great.
Cool. He's cool. It's the week before my wife and I are getting married. And he's like, so I'm like, oh, we're getting married next week. He's like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, we're just talking, shoot the shit. And I asked him if he played my favorite song. And I said, hey, are you playing such and such song? And he's like, yeah. I go, sweet. He goes, I know. That's your favorite song. He remembered.
That's cool.
Here's the best part. I have it on video. He's like, this one's for Cap. He announced it.
Really?
And starts playing it. And I'm like,
oh my God.
It's like, yeah. And so thankfully through the internet, social media, I actually found someone who actually had that. And then they were able to send me the video.
Oh, that's great.
No way I would have ever known.
Right.
But fucking cool.
That's cool, man.
Nicest guy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
that's the dude that gets it, man.
He's just so cool. So cool.
It's not like you seeked him out. Like it was like kind of like a blind date. They put you together, you know?
Yeah.
And that's cool.
I like the Killers. Don't get me wrong. But I even he's always laughing because I grew up loving heavy metal. Like my favorite bands were Fear Factory, Machine Head, Slayer, Pantera, bands like that. But I also like other stuff. My favorite band,
you're pretty cool. You're right.
My favorite guitar player, Stevie Ray Vaughan. So I'm not pigeonholed into metal, but being a teenager, I was into that. I'm just kind of looking at this, and we can get a little bit more texture up and through here. But yeah, man, it's super cool. Just nice guy, super down to earth, just friendly. I actually picked his brand about being a father.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you did this when you were, expecting your first, but you'd start talking to people who have like I couldn't just talk to anybody about being a father. I had to like talk to somebody who had something similar. So like Brandon Flowers and I are not similar. But what is similar is he travels a lot. So he's away, and I would be away for, several weekends in a row,
Right.
So I wanted to like kind of know, like, how do you get this work-life balance as they get older when you're traveling? How do you handle it?
Yeah. How was that?
It was great advice. And I was just always trying to ask people who had kids that did a lot of travel that pulled them away from the family, because that was like I didn't have parents that traveled for jobs. They traveled somewhere for 8 hours and they never arrived home, They never did anything like that. I didn't grow up in a house that had like we did a lot of travel, or, dad has to go on a business trip or anything like that. So that was like a really strange foreign thing for me. All right, so here we go. Do you want to trim some of this off?
Yeah. Make it even, because I see where you're...
I'm just pulling it out.
Yeah, no, one side is obviously longer than the other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, totally.
I'm going to deal with the... Yeah, do your thing.
First.
No, yeah, do your thing.
I've realized the most impactful things in life are usually the easiest things.
Seriously.
Like putting down your phone is actually...
Oh, my God. Yeah.
It's easy to do, but hard. It's like drawing a perfect circle.
Oh, I know.
Hard to actually do in real life, it seems like.
No, you're absolutely right. If you put it down, it's definitely just free yourself. It's kind of like, oh, damn, that wasn't that hard.
Yeah. I actually turned off all my notifications.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
It's hard. And then I'm actually now wondering if it had a negative impact, because my curiosity now is so high that it's now created a new sense of FOMO of like, well, did I miss something actually important?
No. I did that too. And I did that. And it's so funny because it feels so good because you don't hear the dinging and all that.
Yes.
And it's like, if there's something super important, then like, you'll know, you know what I mean? Definitely turn off all the alerts for social media, because that's just ding, 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 ding. Someone posted this. It's like, you don't need to know. You'll get up on, hey, there's a time and place to get caught up with that,
I haven't really found any good social media accounts. I've been finding like really funny stuff lately. And that's like all I care about. Like, I'm like a meme king.
I'm the guy that gets suckered in a wormhole on YouTube. I look up one thing that I need, and then it's like one of those, I'm the guy like, hey, if you like this, then you'll like it. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm that guy again, dude. I can't stop.
I'm a sucker for the Facebook Reels.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, it's like all the recommended, like,
oh yeah, you can build up. Oh yeah.
Like you're scrolling down, and that's the same horizontal, like you swipe.
Oh yeah.
And like have it trained in that.
Oh, you do.
It's like crazy swamp creatures caught on.
Oh yeah.
Is this a real dinosaur? Is this Bigfoot? It's like I somehow hacked the algorithm. I'm only getting crazy ass conspiracy theories.
Oh,
I'm loving it.
Oh no, totally. That's YouTube.
In Antarctica. I don't know. I'm gonna find.
Oh, yeah. There's that big ass hole. I know which one you looked at. I love it, dude. Yeah, man.
Just looking at where those pieces are.
Yeah, no, do your thing.
The slide would not take this long. But what I love about this whole like format is we would have done this over drinks.
Oh yeah.
But we're actually being productive.
Oh, I know. But the thing is, you're doing something that you love, and it's like, if you're doing something you dreaded, we wouldn't be doing this. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be taking this long. It's like,
it's back to that whole point of the conversation that you had about like, if it's not fun, don't do it. Like,
yeah, exactly. I'm enjoying talking to you. Guess what? That's what I do for a living. Like, it's storytelling, bro. Learning new stuff, and it's, yeah, hey, you made me feel a lot better about myself that I'm not the only one that goes down those wormholes of the holes in Antarctica.
Oh, dude, it's so fun. Did you ever see the Mitch Hedberg joke about Bigfoot in real life is actually just really blurry? That's why they never capture a clear one. He's just in person.
No one can get a clear fucking picture of Bigfoot.
I also love like those memes where it talks about galaxy 30 billion light years away, crystal clear.
Oh, right.
Blurry. Like, why aren't we getting that same technology for, house camos and businesses?
Isn't that funny?
It makes no sense. One of my buddies is going to come on, and he's a chef out here at a really nice restaurant out in Durban Springs. I can't wait to go down the rabbit hole with him.
Oh, is he a conspiracy theory, dude?
I don't know, but I know he follows a lot of the Bigfoot shit.
Okay.
And so
the Bigfoot shit. Yeah, that's so funny. Have a Bigfoot shit person to talk to.
So he was the first person whose eyebrows I totally fucked up on.
Oh, geez.
Like I was trimming the eyebrows, and I took them like to the skin almost with the scissor and the comb. When he told me you'd like, oh, I guess good thing I'm a radio, put on a hat.
Yeah.
It made me think he's like, oh, good thing I work in the back of the kitchen.
Was it bad?
It was pretty bad.
Really?
One of the eyebrows was pretty bad.
like you have a comb and then you do the scissors. Like how?
Do you want to demonstrate?
Well, I don't know. I need to fuck up my eyebrows.
Well, you have a vent, so we're not going to do
Yeah.
No, but I was teasing. I think I was like, we can just say like, yeah, they got burned off.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Hey.
I mean, there you go. Yeah.
One of those moments where I was like, okay, I fucked up.
Well, that's redemption when he comes back in. Man, looks good, dude.
You feel better?
Oh, man.
Okay.
My hair's lighter. Yeah. You can get them.
No, I'm not going to cut them off.
No. Do your thing.
No, this is.
I have like random long ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like random long stranglers get in when you have kids. Never had those when I was a single guy.
Eyebrows and nose hairs are crazy.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Have you ever done like hair for someone and then like a guy in particular and then you do all this and then he's like, all right, I gotta go. Nice seeing you. And he puts a hat on.
Yeah. I have. Yeah. No, so I actually, for years, I had a client and he would just come in, wear a hat, and then he'd leave wearing a hat.
Like you do everything you're doing right now.
Yeah.
And they would just put a hat on. Like,
and no. And he told me right from the beginning, don't get offended. I'm going to put my hat back on.
Okay.
And I go, okay. So like, if you wear a hat, I had the same conversation with girls. I always wear my hair in a ponytail. Like, then why do you care? Does it need to be down to your knees? Like if it's always going to be up in a bun. So I asked him, I go, well, why are you getting your haircut? Why don't you just shave your head? And he said, because his job, it was like one of those jobs where he worked in an office and he had to, I think it was like wealth management, like a PIMCO guy or something like that, where when he would have to meet with somebody, he was so high up, he could just be at home, do whatever. But when he had to meet with somebody, sweatpants, backwards hat, meet with a client, high net worth.
It was me when I came in because like with that hair, the length and just the all over, I couldn't do anything with that.
Oh, yeah.
So like I understand.
He would come in like every 4 weeks, got his haircut, and would leave with the hat on.
Oh man.
And I was like, aren't you mad? I go, no. His job is like when he has to look, he has to look good. And other than that, he's a guy who's like, look, I just love wearing a hat.
Yeah.
And I get it. There are people who just love wearing a hat.
Yeah. I still remember some years ago, someone saying, or everyone saying, oh, you keep on wearing that hat, you're going to go bald.
I know.
I mean,
You're still here?
I'm all right. I love it, dude. My God.
Appreciate the chat.
Oh, yeah. No, man, I love it. It looks awesome.
Sweet.
Man, it's just good. I mean, I knew it was going to be, but it's like, damn. It's like, wow, that's awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Sweet, dude. So,
Thank you, brother.
We could do this another time, man. I love
it.
I just imagine that there's probably more stories that we didn't even talk about.
Oh, yeah. Next time we'll have I'll make you a vodka drink, and then you can make me a gin drink. I'm gonna get you on the vodka train.
Are we gonna do this and then cut hair afterwards?
Oh man, we'll do it while cutting hair. This thing. So.
All right, man. All right, see. Later. Thanks.